down below. That'd be awesome. Hello, hello, everyone. How's everyone's day going? I have to actually, I'm only going to be on for about maybe 15, 20 minutes because I have a parent-teacher meeting in the next hour. And trust and believe, the parking out here is no joke. So I got to make it there early before we ain't going to have no parking. Hey, Shay, how are you? Hello, guys. As you coming on in, please let me know where you're watching from and share this out. Okay, let's jump right on into this, guys. For those of you, if this is your first time watching me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Hi, Dr. Carlene. So I believe that you deserve the right to be financially independent, so that you can design a life that you deserve. My name is Letitia Campbell. I'm your sales success strategist. I help you develop habits that will allow you to reach your goals, get the most from your time, and help you maintain an action plan so that you can turn your online business into a profit-making empire. So I want to talk about this subject. And, for the past couple of weeks, this particular subject has been one of the main topics I've been talking about privately and online. Many of us, like I think I had a conversation with you, Dr. Carlene, the other day. As an entrepreneur, you have to hire efficiently, but you got to learn how to fire fast. So many times, as you're building a business online and as you're building these partnerships, because partnerships are amazing, guys. Like, how many of you guys have partnered with another entrepreneur and y'all have done some amazing things, whether it be for a conference, an event, a program, a summit? I partner with women every single day. We're actually about to do a 2-day summit in reference to my Dallas event coming up this week, Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday, we're going to do a virtual summit. And as you guys can see, you can look all the way into my timeline. I'm always partnering with some amazing women, whether they're clients, non-clients, or whatever. But what happens, or what should you do whenever you are trying to break a business partnership? Or if you're trying to just break away from a partnership, right? I know I'm just talking about my personal experiences. I probably have broken away from partnerships my entire business. Ever since I started to build a business online, I worked with different women and men, and I have broken away from certain partnerships. And I'm going to first talk about what were my red flags for me. And I'm then going to tell you guys about what the process that you're going to have to go through when it comes to breaking away from partnerships. So really quickly, I want to ask everyone a quick question. Yes or no, have you ever had to break away from a partnership, and did it give you a very sick feeling in your stomach? Yes or no? Yes or no? Hey, Dr. Carlene. And guys, just really quick, I have a Dallas event coming up on November 8th to November 10th. We are selling virtual tickets right now for $29. So if you go to campbellsuccessnetwork.com, you'll be able to get your virtual ticket. This is the #1 sales-focused meet and greet for if you're a coach, consultant, service provider, whatever business that you're in. If you want to shorten your sales process, develop new habits, focus on how to reach your goals every single month, guys, and actually create an actual action plan, you definitely need to come. And I have girls coming from all over the United States that's also going to be speaking on health, wealth, and relationships. So you don't want to miss that. Hey, Roz, how are you? I got your message, Roz, and I'm going to get right back to you, Mama. Get right back to you guys. So I wanted to do this live now because, as I told you guys, I have a parent-teacher meeting, and I know once I get home, I'm just going to dive right into my calls that I have this evening. All right. So Dr. Carlene said, and I had that hard conversation, contract canceled. Oh, you did it, Dr. Carlene? Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. I know, and the reason why I'm congratulating you, Dr. Carlene, because I knew how hard it was for you to do that. Dr. Carlene and I have been talking back and forth for the past, 2 weeks now. So I knew that process was hard. I could tell in your face when I was talking to you last time that you knew what the answer was, but actually doing it was hard. Shay said, I'm bummed I'm bummed I can't attend. I have an event the same weekend. But Shay, you can get virtual tickets. Sis. Virtual tickets for my Dallas event is only $29, camelsuccessnetwork.com. So grab it so at least you can watch the replays. All right. Hey, Robin, how are you? Yes, yes. It's hard. It's hard to break from partnerships. For those of you who are probably, if you have a coach that you feel that is not giving you any value, it's hard to break away from even that. So I get it. So me personally, I have three things that I have to live by. Um Robin's on here. She called Robin Jackie, she's an amazing NLP coach and trainer. She calls them your non-negotiables, right? I have three non-negotiables. Now, I want y'all to do me a quick favor. If you have a pen and paper, I want you guys, as I'm telling you guys my non-negotiables when it comes to business, I want you guys to write down what are your non-negotiables when it comes to business. So that way, before you get into a partnership next time, you're telling that individual, these are my three non-negotiables. And if for any reason that that you go against these three non-negotiables, I have to part ways. These are just my non-negotiables. So my first non-negotiables is honesty. Okay. Whenever I'm working with someone, you have to be honest. You have to be a person of honest intentions. Okay. We're not going to always agree on everything. That's life. I'm a different person. The women that I work with and partner with are different people. It is what it is. But as long as you bring in a spirit of honesty with me, that is so important, right? My second non-negotiables is you got to be a spiritual person. You don't have to be a religious person, but for me, spirituality is a big part in my life. I don't believe that I can be equally yoked with someone if they don't have that spiritual connection with the higher power. And it could be versus any religion. You could be a Baptist, you could be a Protestant, you could be whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be based on religion. But because I am constantly praying and constantly, God is the head and the tail of my life, it's hard for me to actually be equally yoked with somebody who don't have that same spiritual values, because it's like, okay, how am I praying for you and you're not praying back for me? It has a lot to do with that. Number three is, and this is something that is like, and I'm going to talk about this more in just a second. You cannot exhibit any narcissistic behaviors. Okay, narcissistic behaviors. That's a huge. I'm not calling anyone narcissistic. Okay, I'm not calling anyone narcissistic. I'm saying you cannot exude to me narcissistic behaviors, because that is a red flag with me. I've dealt in relationships with those type of behaviors. I dealt with business partnerships with those type of behaviors. And when I get a whim of that, I instantly retreat. Okay. And my wild card is that you have to be a woman or man of value. So those are my three non-negotiables. Now you guys can write down what yours. You can share it in the comments right here. Dr. Carlene said integrity, spirituality, and collaborative. Absolutely. Hey, Diana. Hey, Daphne. How are you? Yeah, guys, tell me what are your three non-negotiables. So let's talk really quickly about what is the process that you're going to take when you're in a partnership and you have that time where you was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. You go from the honeymoon phase and everything's great, everything's amazing, you're collaborating ideas, you're working together and whatnot. Sometimes separation from partnerships can take years. It's not something that you don't really know a person until you spend a long length of time with them. And one of my clients, Charmaine, she mentioned it. She was like, you're not going to learn unless you go through. So I can't really sit here and tell you guys what are the red flags, because a lot of times the red flags won't come until probably maybe 6, 12, sometimes 48 months after the partnership started. But how I distanced myself just recently from a partnership was it happened months before I decided to say I'm done. It happened months before, probably 6, 7, 8 months before, where it started off in my head, right? So whenever you're dealing with a partnership, you go first through a mental separation, where mentally you're separating yourself away from this person or this brand. Because as I started to see that this individual went against my three non-negotiables, I had to purge myself mentally. And yes, there was a lot of tears. Yes, there was a lot of me questioning myself, because sometimes you get into something with someone and even though you had several people tell you, I don't think that's a good idea, you sort of want to, I have that open heart to say, well, that person never treated me this way, or I don't get that vibe from them. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I really, really do. Hey, Tina. Hey, Tanya. So I had to go through a mental separation. Mental separations can take a while. It absolutely can. It can take you a while because you're constantly questioning your mind, right? When you're going through a mental separation and your mind is like, I want to break away from this individual because they're not matching my values, they're totally disrespecting my non-negotiables. And then the other half of your brain is like, oh my God, what are you going to do? Now, here's an advice I want to tell you guys real quick. And I want y'all to write this down. Please understand, you don't need anybody to be somebody. In this whole world of entrepreneurship, there's a lot of coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners that have a large amount of ego, where they think that without them, your business is nothing. They will even tell you that you don't know how to run a business or that you don't know what you're doing. Okay? I want you to not fall into that trap of having someone else make you think that all the work, the times where you was up late at night, the times where you worked your behind off to launch that course or speak on that stage or write that book means nothing. Never allow is what we allow, right? Hold on one second, y'all. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me one. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to take a little bit of commercial to get these kids in line. They was acting up back there. And I don't want to lose my train of thought. So never ever allow anybody. I don't care if this person has 100K followers. I don't care how long this person's been working their business online. At the end of the day, we all have to put our panties on the same way everyone else has to put their panties on. That person does not have blood of gold, and you have regular blood. It's all the same. Anybody can get knocked off their rockers. And a lot of times, and this is something that I had to realize, is that certain people are only famous according to their reach, right? But they want to perceive like they're bigger than what they're bigger than what they really are. So you have to then say that I am a worthy person. I'm a worthy woman. I know a lot. I know what I know. And guys, if you haven't shared this out, share this out. And don't never let anybody make you feel like you cannot be successful without them. A lot of business partnership guys are like abusive relationships. You know that, right? A lot of business partnerships, yes, it is. They're almost like abusive relationships where you having a person tell one person. I remember a partnership that I was in, and it was like, "Oh, Letitia, you're not a recognized speaker." Okay, but everyone that I know don't know who you are, and everyone that I know don't even know who the people that you have speaking at your event are. So what qualifies me or anybody for that matter to be a recognized speaker in your eyes? But in that moment, I placated that term, and I really believed what that person was saying. I was like, wait a second. Some of y'all just got to know that God is still God. I think a lot of times we allow people to take us out of that realm of we knowing what we know and the things that we're experiencing, that we are more than enough. And nobody puts a label on us other than a label that we put on ourselves. So when it comes to that mental separation, please understand that you have to see yourself without that person and be okay with it. And thinking about and that's one thing that really helped me mentally when I had that mental separation, was that I was thinking about all the things that I'm going to be able to do now because I don't have to worry about that person popping up in my inbox and stating their opinions or telling me, oh, I don't think this is a good idea, you should do this, or I don't think you should partner with this person. I was thinking about all the amazing new connections that I am now going to be able to make, because a lot of times partnerships will drown you. One of the things that Alex Sharfton told me a couple of months back. And if you guys are not following Alex Sharfton, he's one of the founders of the Billionaire Code. He told me that partnerships can be a liability. And I've asked this man that same question twice. I wanted to make sure, me in my mind, I always ask for confirmation, right? You know, God has already confirmed things, and I'm still asking for confirmation. The next couple of days later, I asked him the same question, and he's gave me the same answer. Partnerships can be a liability. And so we have to realize that. Is this partnership that you in, is it really something that's allowed you to elevate? Both of y'all are elevating together. Or is it becoming a liability where people are looking at you and they're saying, I don't want to partner with you because you're connected to that. I don't want to do this because you're connected to that. And that's what started to happen. Partnerships will affect your brands. It will. You may try to say, well, I don't, that's not what I represent over there, or that's not what I'm doing. But then again, people are like, I hear what you're saying. But when it's not congruent and it's not adding up, because you are who you're connected with, the 5 people you're connected with, that's what represents who you are and the destination that you're going to reach. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Let me grab you guys' comments. Thank you, Tasha. I love you, sis. Yeah, they are a legend in their own. Oh my God, Tina, some people think they're a legend, but they're a legend in their own mind. Let me tell you something about that. I'm an icon. Okay. Those of you who are watching me right now, all of not my little nieces, y'all, not the nieces, you ever, I call my haters, not haters, I call them nieces. Because all the ones who are looking at me and they're like, oh my God, who she thinks she is, are copying the same thing that I'm doing. So I call them nieces. Y'all know what a niece is, right? A niece is, your little niece is always trying to wear your shoes or put makeup on like you or talk like you, use the same languaging that you use. That's what a niece is. So they're not my nieces. I'm talking about those of y'all who are watching me. Y'all are icons. Call yourself that. You know what an icon means? An icon means that you're a leader in what you do. Absolutely. You are a masterpiece. Right? You're perfection, right? That's what you are. So increasingly important. Girl, you never need permission to be you or give your gifts to the world. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Carlene. Dr. Carlene said I'm super clear. Awesome. So guys, make sure you share this out. So that's okay. So first and foremost, whenever you're breaking away from a partnership, it's a mental thing first. And then the physical happens. Then the physical separation happens. And that part is where your fear is going to come up in your spirit so hard that you don't know, it's going to affect your mood. And I always say, guys, during this time, please try not to get into any serious conversations with anyone other than the person that you're trying to separate your business partnership from. Because what's going to happen is, your emotions may go out against the wrong person. I think, Robin, you call it kick the cat. You ever like wake up in the morning and you're in traffic, you're frustrated, or then you go to Burger King or not Burger King. I don't know why I say Burger King. You go to Starbucks and they get your order wrong, so that's strike 2. Then you end up, because of traffic, you got into work late. That's strike 3, and all of a sudden somebody comes into your office and they say something that you get upset about, and that's strike 4, and then you done cuss the person out. But really, you're taking all your negativity that happened from the time you woke up to that interaction, and you just let it out on that person. I think that's called, like, you just kicked the cat. Right? Don't do that. When you're in the moment of action mode, when you're about to break away from your business partnerships, you got to speak to somebody, right, who is a little somewhat aware of the situation, that's going to help you and coach you on what to do. And that's what I did. I thank God for Robin and several other women that really helped me during the process, because it allowed me to just focus on the issue at hand and not add on all the other personal issues that I was going through in my life at the time. So it made the separation more easier, because if I'm blowing, shade at you, I want to make sure the shade is for you and not everything else is being equivalent to that. Hope that makes sense. Because me knowing who I am, my mouth can be very reckless. right? Okay. You got what you needed to learn. Time to grow. That's right, Anita. Yeah, that straw that breaks the camel back. Absolutely. So now when the physical separation part happens and you actually do it, you send that email telling that person that, listen, I know you and I have been partnering together for a long period of time, a year, 2 years, 6 months, or whatever. But right now I feel that what with this partnership is really making me struggle with my non-negotiables. Like I told you guys, you got to take what your three non-negotiable is, and you got to give examples. You got to give examples. Just saying why you want to break away is not enough. You got to give that person examples, right? and and that's it, and you just release yourself from that experience. Now the other side of it is that you could be dealing with a person who has narcissistic behaviors. If you are dealing with somebody, I'm not saying anyone is not narcissistic. I can't diagnose anyone. I'm not a medical professional or anything like that. But I do know signs of narcissism because I have experienced them myself in several occurrences. When you're dealing with a person that doesn't like to seek any blame in what they're doing. Have you guys ever spoken to a woman or man that was like that? They don't take any blame for what they're doing. They don't apologize genuinely. They feel that you're the one that's the issue. They flip what your languaging or just the languaging of the conversation around, like where you're the problem. They're not taking any ownership of what has been transpiring, right? And at the end of the day, it's your fault. Your emotions, your feelings, the fact that you're done, that's all you. Have any of you guys ever dealt with that? It doesn't even have to be a business partnership. It could be a relationship. Maybe you dealt with a partner that was like that. Didn't take anything that they did was your fault. Any feelings that you feel is your fault. So anything they did is your fault. Any feelings that you have is your fault. They don't take on, they're not there. And you got to be okay with that person not taking ownership for their actions. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to allow them to take ownership. Please understand that, guys, because you got to understand there's never going to be any closure. You just got to walk away from that experience and say, this is what I've learned. This is what I've gained. I'm going to grow in this situation, right? Because separation also will allow you to grow. So take that in and be okay with that. I'm going to grow from this situation. I'm going to move on because guess what? This person is no longer in my life or involved in my business. Imagine all the amazing now new opportunities and the new people who can come to me and now work with me and don't attach me to that. They're not going to say no to this because of that. Right? So always think of the upside, right? Don't try to defend their ego because a lot of online, a lot of people online, a lot of business owners online, coaches, consultants, all indifferent. You have a large amount of them that have an ego for whatever reason. They have an ego. They think that they made it. I made it. I'm at the top. I gave you an opportunity. I'm gonna, like, they will say those things to you like crazy and then tell you you're the one with the attitude. You're the angry one. I was just talking to one of my clients last night. She told me, she shared a message with me, somebody sent her, and the person said, looks like you just want to be angry. Looks like you don't want to be happy. And I told my client, I said, listen, sis, that person is putting on their emotions onto you. Because this client I was talking to, this girl cannot even feel anger. Like, she's such a nice person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sweet as can pie. But she was so upset because if people put that judge on you and you're assuming that what they're saying is not right, talking and going back and forth is just a waste of energy because you're dealing with somebody, woman or man, that has those narcissistic behaviors. Hurt, yes, there you go. Hurt people. That person was hurting. And so her and him number one job is to give that hurt energy instead of saying, you know what? I totally understand how you feel. They don't want to they will never put themselves in your shoes. So it's no point in going back and forth with them. It's no point in getting angry, because they will never, ever, somebody type the word never. When you know that that person would never put themselves in your shoes, they already disrespected your 3 non-negotiables, right? And when they take it to the place of no return, you just have to separate and say, you know what? I'm going to think about the upside. Now I can be me. Now I can do what I need to do. Now I can actually allow what I promote out there on social media to be congruent, because I'm erasing anyone in my life that's against my 3 non-negotiables. And guys, sometimes these mistakes and these separations, you're probably looking back and you're thinking about, oh my God, I spent so much money with this person. I've invested so much, you know, and then you feel a sense of sadness over it. But guys, that's life. That's life. You can't look backwards. You can only go forwards. And a lot of times, and here's the amusing part of life, right? My dad used to say, rest in peace to my dad. He used to say, when we tell God what our plans are, he laughs at us. He used to always say that. I used to say that all the time. He said, you know, when you tell God, he used to call me Tish. He's like, you know, Tish, when you tell God what your plans are, he laughs at you. Because we always assume that we are in total control of the destination that happens in our lives. But really, we're not. We're out there trying to pray to the universe, right? And make circles on a piece of paper and say, well, this is my vortex and this is what I want in my vortex. But who created the universe and the vortex? God. So I'm not going to talk to the employee. I'm going to talk to the boss, right? I'm going to go to the top, the creator of all that. Because while we're trying to create the universe and put the words in and vortexes, God is laughing at you. He's like, girl, what are you doing? He's looking at you like, what is my child doing? And he's just like, hello. You know, I created the sun, the stars, the dinosaurs. I created you. I knew you before you knew yourself. I knew you before you was even a thought in your mother and father's mind. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the experience that you was going to go through was not going to be successful. But I've allowed you to go through that because there's a lesson in every single thing we go through. Nothing is a failed experience. It's all a lesson. It's going to allow you to be better, do better, be great. It's a lesson. Everything is a lesson, right? Reframe it, because you got to learn so much. It just was an expensive lesson. That's it. Some lessons are lessons and some lessons are expensive lessons. So I want you guys, and again, I just recently I've been asked this question a lot about partnerships and what are good partnerships, what are bad partnerships, what are the red flags, what I should look out for. And I'm gonna be honest, speaking from a perspective of the fact that the only way I broke away from partnerships is actually going through the partnership for an extended period of time. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, oh, these are the red flags. But what I do believe that if you should write out your non-negotiables, and you should make your 3 non-negotiables very, 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 very position there on the forefront. So that way, everyone you're working with are aware of your 3 non-negotiables. It doesn't have to be 3; it could be 10. You know, there's the 10 commandments. It could be 10 non-negotiables, and it could be, listen, no, I do not. If you're the type of person who does not work well with negative energy, you got to say that. Like, listen, guys, my non-negotiable is I don't want any negative energy. I don't work it with negative energy. I can't deal with negative energy. I can't create with negative energy. I can't show up right with negative energy. So if there is that comes up, here's what you should do. Because my non-negotiable is I ain't dealing with it. If it's between you and my happiness, it's going to be you. That's it. That's a non-negotiable. And you cannot be a woman that gets convinced out of maintaining and establishing your non-negotiables. That's why they're called non-negotiables, because it's a non-negotiable agreement. Because there's a lot of people online that likes to pretend, or I live in this value systems, I live by this 5 agreements, or I have integrity, or I have this, and really in reality they don't. Because you see the complaints that their clients are making. You're seeing the disappointments that they're having whenever they're doing events from people who are attending. You see all these complaints, but on the forefront, they're talking about themselves. They're talking about themselves. Everything's no. But what are their people saying? It's a different story. So I hope this helps somebody. And one of the things I can guarantee, that breaking away from a partnership is not an easy thing. You're going to have moments where you're going to cry, you're going to doubt yourself, or you're going to feel some kind of way, probably a sense of guilt, or feel bad, or things like that, because it's not just you that gets affected by it, it's everyone who has been a part of that process that gets affected by it. So it's something that you just have to just allow the process to go and allow the process to end, and just constantly say, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at the upside to this. I'm going to look at the upside to this. And what surprisingly is that, which I was surprised that I got, I was actually rewarded for leaving a business partnership. My clients on here will tell you, I was actually told, I'm so glad that you are not part of that anymore. You are you right now. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. You may have a cheerleading crew of women or men who are looking at you and saying, thank God, Dr. Carlene, you let that person go. They never said anything while you was in that partnership, right? That business partnership. They may have kept their mouth closed while you was going through it. But once you announce that, listen, that person's gone, or I'm not partnering with that person no more, they're like, oh my God, girl, about damn time. I already seen the avalanche happen before it happened. And you get surprised. You're like, wow, this is good. It's good, wow. This is another point of confirmation. Right? And if you're okay, let me give some advice to my real woman out there. My what I call those of y'all who like to clap back, those of y'all who, if y'all see a nasty comment or a nasty post that is in reference to you. My biggest advice, if you know you cannot control how you react. See, I'm trying to keep me focused on how to react, not respond. Right? God is still working on me. But if you know that you are a responsive type of woman, right? Because I'm the type of person, you throw that fire at me, I'm going to throw it right back. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that. But if you are that type of person, just eliminate that person off of your social media. Block them. Take yourself off of their email list, so that way you don't see anything that they post, because some people are just shady like that. They're like Robin said, hurt people. So they're hurt. They're not taking any responsibility for their role in their situation. So what they're going to do is they're going to take it out there to the public and say all this underlying stuff without saying your name. And I didn't grow up in the age where we did all this, or we did this. I grew up in a different age. Okay. I grew up where we didn't talk. It was about show me, don't do all this. You know what I'm saying? So being the fact that I have that bring up, I'll just remove you out of my life. I just remove you out of my life. Because like I told y'all, when you grew up when you are old school type of girl, you don't do all that. No, this is what I don't care. Let me tell you something. You could be dealing with a woman that's 50 years old and she's still from this upbringing where she's like this. You could be younger than that person and still have that old school mentality. Not, you see, old school is, when I say old school, y'all, I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about old school mentality, right? I told y'all who my father was. My father did not play. I went through all through elementary school, all through middle school, all through high school. Nobody knew my name. Everybody called me either Melvin's daughter or Melvin's sister, because my brother's name was Melvin and my father's name was Melvin. People didn't know my name until I went to college. Oh, your name's Letitia. Because my dad and my brother was not doing none of this. My father and my brother would wait for you like outside. Like, oh, you want to say, okay, they'll be out up the street. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They wanted to, no, they be up there. Like, Tisha, your daddy's outside. He's, oh God, here we go. Tisha, your brother's up the road. Oh God, here we go. Used to make me, not at me, not directed at me, but if somebody messed with me, we're doing that. So if you know that you are of the old school mentality, right, and you ain't about all that back and forth, just block the person, guys. Don't let the people get you all riled up and razzle. Okay, absolutely. My mom is 85 and will pop off. Anita, pop off. I remember. I gotta tell y'all a story. I remember. I had to be in middle school. I was on the school bus, and the bus driver pushed me. I told my daddy. My father was. He didn't say nothing. I told him, and the next day, we pulled up to the bus stop, and the people on the bus was like, Tisha, your daddy is on the corner at the bus stop. And don't y'all know that my daddy, and this was just one occurrence. I have hundreds, if not thousands, of stories to share. Okay. If we ever got to sit down, I'll tell you all about it. He dragged that bus driver off the bus. And I felt more bad for the bus driver. Because I was like, ooh. That's one thing our girls miss when they don't have a dad. Dads teach daughters their values. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why I tell y'all out there who like to throw digs, you got to be careful who you throwing digs to, because you never know. You may be messing with that old school type of girl. You just might. That's why you got to be nice to everybody. You never know. You may be talking bad about somebody who's new school and who will clap right back at you, right? You never know. You may come across that old school girl that doesn't do all the. So be careful who you're messing with, niece. Be careful who you are talking about, whether in public or in private. Just, that's all I have to say. Just be careful. You know, trust and believe. I had a person was supposed to come out here to New York. She didn't come out because she knew what time it is. Don't listen. I am who I am. That's it. Yes. So guys, listen, I hope this helped. I hope this brought you guys value. If you guys definitely go to camelsuccessnetwork.com, join us either in person or virtually for Dallas. Yes, Regina, girl. The things. You got to just tell people these days so they can be reminded, you know. Okay. So I could read and throw a fade real fast. Okay. I could read and throw a fade real fast. Okay. All right. Anywho. Okay. This is just my day job. Hey, Monica, how are you? So listen, guys, that's all I have for you guys is on this amazing afternoon. Make sure that you guys, if you just hopped on, go back and watch the replay. Make sure you grab your in-person or virtual ticket. The virtual tickets for my Dallas event is only $29. Go to camelsuccessnetwork.com. Grab it right away. Thank you so much, Anita. See? Yes. And just what's going on this week. This week we have a virtual summit coming up. In reference to our Dallas event. Dallas is going to be amazing, guys. Again, Dallas is going to be from November 8th to November 10th. I'm posting the speakers who are going to be joining us today throughout tomorrow. But you got to listen, if y'all can't come in person, grab your virtual ticket. grab your virtual ticket. If you want real tips, advice, execution plan, all the above, you need to grab at least your virtual ticket at camelsuccessnetwork.com. That's camelsuccessnetwork.com. Love y'all to death. Gotta hop off. Bye, guys.